in the UK that people just, it's easy to fundraise for transition initiatives here. So people start their projects, and if it's going well, they will find someone to help with money so they can keep going. And I think this is one of the challenges for us in Brazil because we have to do it by ourselves. We have to start and to do all the partnerships to make it happen. And we have no money at all for this.
I think we are in Brazil. We are a little more organic, you know. We try to start the way how we can take people from heart, and so we look for when I work, especially in the slams, I look for what's easier to do first. So you do that, and when you finish it, they look, wow, we can do that. So they feel empowered, and then it's easier to start the hardest project. That's really to plan together and to make things together and to think in a biggest way, because they used to think, we used to say that they sell the lunch to buy the dinner, you know, and it's difficult because they think each day, and now you are thinking how to plan the future. We are going to plan the future, how we are going to be in a better way, in more quality of life. Thinking about really the climate change that we are feeling in Brazil very hardly right now. It's a reality there. And look to this is easier to us. So we try to work this way. And the other challenge, especially for the trainers, I think May can talk better about that, is because we have people that don't have scholarity, they can't read, and so we have to talk to all the publics together, and that's a big challenge. But this challenge, I think, made the process much more rich and much more special to us and to the people that live there. If we follow the steps this way, it works. But if you if you mix it, it works too. And that's amazing about the methodology, because it's interesting because you have to have all the steps, but you don't have to put them all on the same. So it's like an organic movement, really. I like it very much.
I was telling this in the presentation, this feeling of I have everything, I don't have to worry, I don't need to join, I don't have time. Oh, people always say so. I don't have time. Oh, I am already so full of things to think, to do. And now they are beginning to think of everything and rethink about values.
Here at the conference, we were able to see 3 case studies that have answered this question from where to where, and there is not one recipe. And of course, I think one of the gifts of the Brazil is the creativity and the lightness, which is a common thread for those who are working with the communities below the poverty line, those who are the middle class alternative ones, and those who are in the high class, or those who are the high consumer class. So what is it is a golden thread that wove through all the cases is like creativity and lightness. It's something around what I have been working a lot, which is the changing the voices of advocacy with voices of inspiration. And then I think that's very important. Why the environmental movement didn't go so far. Since the 90s, we had the most incredible agendas, Agenda 21, Agenda Habitat, Platform of Action, the Social Agenda, and those agendas haven't been implemented. Why? Because the main stakeholders, those who were advancing those agendas, they were really using the voices of advocacy and not so much voices of inspiration. So I think what Brazil is doing is adding the voices of inspiration, but it has a problem there that we have to watch, and I keep taking all my people down into rooting, otherwise it can be very light and can be superficial. So you really need to start, if you don't measure, you don't manage. So my next point with all the next round of trainings that we're going to do, I'll be inspiring them to start measuring the change, because if you don't measure, you cannot, in the beginning, otherwise it becomes lots of little funny events with no real transformation, and we don't have time to just be doing light events. Lightness is a tool, but it's not the aim. The aim is the transition.
It's really different to here, and it's easier there to make people work together, and we are not in that point of the in that risk. Like, we still have resources and we still have oil. So how can we convince people that it's very important to start now with the transition? And in Rio, we are studying the Brazilian reality and trying to adapt the transition movement to our reality, so we can talk better about transition there.
Maybe it's the same way as football, because football was created in Britain, and we are the best players. Brazil are the best players, and it seems like that in 6 months that we planted the seeds in a very fertile soil of a community or a country where they used to working together in deep joy, that we can really maybe replicate the same pattern. Maybe transition started in Britain, and we're going to be one of the best players. Let's see. Let's be witnessing eyes to the history of transition movement in South America.